What's something attractive people can do that ugly people can't?
People will go completely out of their way to do things for them. Moving. Something broke. Card declined. Someone will help them.
Oh, people are all so nice in this town.
I work for my local university, so I'm in a few university Facebook groups. One girl once made a post about how nice everyone was to her since she got to campus and how everyone was going way out of their way to be friendly to her. I clicked on her profile and she basically looked like a model. She definitely had a different experience than I did in school. Singer/artist. Even though looks have nothing to do with talent. Makes me wonder how many amazing voices are not being heard because the record company old fat dudes don't think the artist is hot.
True. Most popular and successful singers currently are usually attractive or at least considered attractive.
True. A lot of really conventionally attractive actors in my country, but can't sing, literally releases albums and sell very well, while many genuinely talented singers and musicians are being sidelined to small bar gigs, thus only being able to release a bunch of songs when they can afford to record one. Not get called a creep or weirdo for flirting or trying to chat to someone.
I had a friend in high school get called to the office because he walked past a girl and said hi and she claimed to feel violated. He's not even attractive, he just had no confidence at all.
I had this happen to me in high school. I am not attractive and I have port wine stains on 50% of my body. The school threatened suspended me and my mom lost her ST on our office because they never called her or wrote anything down, it was only verbal. I got moved from a class she was in and told to avoid her locker, so I had to take a long way around the building to get to class. Look in a mirror without weeping.
Body dysmorphia is a thing among attractive people, possibly even more than any others. Recently crossed paths with a fashion model for a top label, and she finds herself to be conventionally ugly. This causes a strange cognitive effect when one perceives themselves to be unattractive, yet society has drilled it into people's heads to fawn over you. And oh, how douchebags of all shapes and sizes run at her. Do you really believe that bodybuilders got to the proportions they are at because they were happy with how they looked in the mirror?
Bodybuilding competitions should really just be body dysmorphia recovery meetings at this point. Attractiveness is often the deciding factor on if you are being creepy or not.
What a lot of people fail to understand, attractiveness does not equal just looks though. Elliot Rodger, the incel who murdered 6 people because he couldn't get laid, was not a physically unattractive guy. But the vileness of his personality was enough to come across as creepy. Meanwhile, Pete Davidson apparently can pull any number of famous gorgeous women, when based on just looks alone, I don't want to be mean but he's a little rough looking. But he's funny and charming and reportedly kind, so that's what makes him attractive.
Yeah, on the internet, attractiveness is just the outside because all we can see is a picture or some videos. But in real life, attractiveness is a whole vibe. There are people who look good but the moment they open their mouth, nasty things come out. The way they move their body is strange. Especially if the person is awkward and not confident. There are plenty of good-looking yet have low self-esteem, it shows and their appearance just doesn't cut it. On the other hand, there are not so good-looking people yet they can brighten up the whole room, you can't help but feel relaxed and happy around them. Get away with stuff. Cut line, talk their way out of a speeding ticket. Get hired.
Get hired is a huge one no one talks about.
Getting hired and then not doing work. My co-worker disappeared from work for a couple hours recently, turned out he went shopping and didn't say anything. But people fawn over him and let him get away with murder because he's so cool, and you can't be mad at a guy like that. Get conversation without much effort. If an unattractive person is at a venue and doesn't know anybody, it can be a lonely experience. If you are attractive, people will try to make conversation with you all the time. I know plenty of attractive people who are not at all interesting but have tons of friends because everyone wants a good-looking person around them.
Damn, that's dark. Imagine thinking someone is a genuine friend when really they don't even like you, they just like what you got in the genetic lottery.
That's not to say someone can't genuinely like you. Many couples are initially physically attracted to others, but this doesn't mean they can't genuinely like them as a person as well. Playing the male role in romantic movie. If the guy from 50 Shades of Grey was overweight and balding, it would be a horror flick.
For women, you have to be at least close to being a supermodel to even get a chance at dating someone like George Costanza in TV shows and movies. I think it's gotten a bit better in recent years, but it's still very much a thing that the women are leagues above some men in the looks department in Hollywood. This will sound weird, but, be fat. There seems to be a definitive attractive way to be fat. How that works I can't tell you, but trust me when I say it's definitely a thing.
Absolutely true, but then I think they also probably hear, "You're pretty, but..." or, "You'd be so much prettier if..." a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Take it from an ugly fat, that's the most common compliments you hear apart from the obligated forced lies of "no, you're fine." Is it better to be an 8 or a 10? I know of one girl that was a 10 and couldn't get a good boyfriend because most good guys assume she's out of their league. I've also heard of very attractive girls getting passed up for jobs because the manager is worried about being too attracted to an employee or thinking the candidate is too good for the job. But if you're an 8, you still benefit from being attractive, but you're also viewed as attainable.
My dog walker just ranted for 10 minutes about this guy asking her out that she walks dogs for. She went on about how he wasn't attractive and it's inappropriate. If the guy looked like Ryan Reynolds, I have a feeling she wouldn't have wasted my 10 minutes. Just like if she was hot, I wouldn't have hated every second of her telling me the story. Oh well.
I don't know. Personally, I'm not attracted to any men, never been curious in the slightest. When I was barely in my 20s, guys around my age range would ask me out and I'd be like, no thanks, and we would move on with our lives. But when men on their 40s would ask me out, it would move into creep territory regardless of how they looked.
When I was smaller, I was called a bombshell. Male friends had crushes on me. I got free drinks at the bar. I was let off a stunting ticket without a warning. Got catcalled. Worked as a waitress. Men came to me. When I gained 50 pounds, I was told never to wear a certain pair of leggings again. Get screamed at / called fat by homeless people. Buy my own drinks. Have trouble finding a waitressing job. Was given a stunting ticket. Male friends became platonic and say, "You're pretty, you'll find someone." Get rejected constantly.
I feel you and it sucks. I've been up and down in weight through my life and it's become abundantly clear that I'm treated differently. I recently lost over 50 pounds again and gained it back within a year. Honestly, I think I self-sabotage because it makes me so angry that there's such a drastic change in how I'm treated.
Attractive people can do anything they want. Ugly people get reminded they're at the bottom of society. All non-judgmental speeches and words are nothing but words without any legitimate feeling behind them. At the end of the day, unattractive people are shut down and shut out. Positivity is absolutely fabricated to make people comfortable. Having any empathy or compassion towards anything is a completely useless skill in the real world. It's just optimistic thinking and living in a fantasy land to think people are generally accepting of anyone outside of the generally accepted social caste. Struggling is unacceptable, working through things is unacceptable, nobody is worth any of the risk involved in investing in another entity. Long-term investments aren't worth the hassle. It's all just contracts and business, and if you're a damaged or unsatisfactory product, you're immediately told where you belong. Eventually, you just accept the reality that no matter where you're at, you're just there as a token. No matter what someone is telling you, you're just a token of a friend at the end of the day.
Talk to new people in public, particularly at bars and the like. I have been fit and I have been fat. Fit me talk to whomever, whenever without incident and generally with good results. Fat me doing the same equaled tense body language, and awkward, stunted interactions. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.